co-father and founder of the Alien School for Creative Thinking, dedicated to empowering creative mavericks to discover and embrace their unique genius. Please welcome to the stage Kamau Zuberi Akabwizi.
Keep it going, everyone!
So, I'm sitting in a conference room, considerably happy in what is conceptually my dream job. I strived during my career to be in this exact position where I felt like I could have the most impact on the creative people that I really loved working with. I'm there with the CEO of the company, who is my partner. He founded this advertising agency, and we are meant to be in interaction much more than we have been. We haven't talked in about a month. I'm also there with the head of people, who is someone I talk with on a regular basis. I hold the title at this point of Chief Creative Officer. And the business of advertising involves a lot of very creative people. So we talk all the time. The CEO turns to me after some pretty great successes in my short time there, and he says, you know, Kamau, people want to see you do more stuff. It's like, you know, pretty cool about it. I said, could you be a little bit more specific about stuff that would be very helpful for all the days ahead? So then he raised his hands to about chest height, and he started to mimic typing on an invisible keyboard. And he said, you know, stuff. It was a really interesting moment because I realized that I was on an episode of a show that I call Shim Sham. Because I'm talking to the CEO of the company about, or wanting to talk to the CEO of the company about the number of people at the company who are very challenged by the fact that they've been asked continually to do more and more and more stuff. And a lot of times it was stuff that they did not know how to do. It was stuff that didn't come to the company to do. And it was stuff that they didn't really have any passion for. However, I'm talking to the chief stuffy, which is really challenging when I'm also being asked to do more and more stuff. So I decided that if the head of people and the payer of the people want me to do more stuff, then I would do more stuff that's really meaningful to me. And so I took a trip to Costa Rica for a week. Costa Rica is a very, very profound conundrum solution. I highly recommend it. The really challenging thing in all this was they were right. So I didn't really think much of the meeting. The people at the company did want to see me do more stuff. But being asked to perform it in this way was a very different expectation, or a very different, experience of a hierarchical structure, unaware of itself. And the work that I was really doing, the work that I was really proud of, was work that was helping the creative people there really rethink their creative mindsets, their working mindsets, which was work that this particular individual did not exactly want to see. But over the course of the months and months of working together and emails and reports and thinking that some good things were gonna happen and just instilling confidence in every place that I could, I started to question the quality of the work that I was delivering. Like, am I saying this the right way? I'd go back to the things that I said, because I wasn't getting a response. Meetings were being canceled. Not a lot was really happening. And I was really challenged because I was losing a lot of time with myself. I was losing a lot of time with my son, Hamilton, who's this awesome 17-year-old teenager now, but he's about 15 at this point. And we've been living together for 2 years, full time. He had lived in a different state for about a decade before that. And so I'm really adapting to living full time with my son, being like not just fun summertime, hang out, have a good time, Dad, but do your homework so we can have a good time, Dad, which is a very different vibe, very different vibe. But I'm losing time with him and with myself and with my spiritual practice and with my physical practice because I'm spending so much time thinking about what's happening with the communications that really are pretty simple to dialogue forward into action. Fortunately, I also was seeing some great counselors and some great coaches, and they were helping me with my patience and with like observing my thoughts. And I found this one thought that was really profound. It was, why am I thinking about what they are thinking about? It was significant because I realized how deep into the imaginary hole I had found myself imagining all these outcomes and solutions and conversations that I thought needed to be had, but they just weren't happening. And so they were just happening in my mind. And again, I just drilled into myself, why am I thinking about what they're thinking about? At some point, they will answer and we'll go from there. And at that point, I entered into this vast garden of time. I had more time than I really ever knew what to do with, especially in my 25 years in working in advertising. Things are go, not a lot of time to think a lot of times. So I'm in this garden of time, and I'm thinking again, like, why am I thinking about what they're thinking about? But this is actually too much time because Hamilton has to go to school, I'm at home, nothing's happening, and I'm then thinking, okay, well, what should I be doing? So I Googled, what do I do with time? Like I put it into Google. What do I do with time? Google gave me 14,430,000,000 answers in 0.29 seconds, and I chose one 5-minute video that really suggested 4 things. And it said, if you do these 4 things, then you will realize a new relationship with time. You will transform your relationship with time management. You will also gain an unprecedented level of intelligence. So I was like, okay, these 4 things in reverse order, very important. Find a passion. The video said, find a passion. Jam around, try some stuff, do some things, find a passion. Number 1 point in the base plate, find a passion. Number 2, meditate. Now, many beings from many epochs of time on Earth have been saying meditate. This time I decided to listen. It felt like the right thing to do. The second was exercise. I like to do that. Already kind of like in the flow, I'm already exercising, so cool, I got that down. And the last one was read, which they said is very boring until you tell a competitive person like myself that if you read 3 books very focused on a specific topic, that you will be more intelligent than 97% of the world on that particular topic. Yeah. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a chemist here. I'm gonna take this passion that I have for intelligence and creativity. I'm gonna mix a little bit of that in there. I'm gonna add in the fact that I've been really into meditation lately, so I'll just learn how to meditate while walking. And I'll just listen to a bunch of audiobooks while meditating and walking and exercising. This is very, very exciting. That alchemical concoction was very valuable for opening up this chasm of time into a place where I was really enthusiastic about what I could do, and I was refinding my purpose. And I understood that in all those years in advertising and marketing, the thing that I was really doing was touching people. I was touching people. The brands, the companies, all those were just names and structures and buildings. I was having an impact on the people, which is why I was in the position that I was in, wanting to have more of an impact on the people than I could actually have. And so when I got back from Costa Rica, I left the business of advertising, and I started the Alien School for Creative Thinking, specifically for thinking creatively about what to do with your time. The school's aim is really to support anybody who is, working on their relationship with their time, their relationship with their creativity, their relationship with their spark. And it's been an exercise in trust. An exercise in trust because, I trusted that the internet would have an answer to one of the biggest questions that I've ever had in my life. Why am I thinking about what they're thinking about? It was really, really important. I trusted it if I did all the things that the video recommended, that I would gain a level of intelligence about a particular topic that I loved. And if you want to talk to me about creativity, I could talk about that for 10 more hours because I read 1,400 hours of audiobooks during that time while I was walking in parks and breathing and meditating and taking in all that insight, mostly about the creative spirit and how profoundly beautiful and powerful it is. One of the most beautiful things that came from all of that learning was I found more time with my son, which was the most important thing. The reason I went into this was to spend time connecting with who he is, where he is, and to be able to sit back and observe the fact that he is a work in progress, that he is growing beautifully in every way that he's growing. And even in those tense moments, where he likes to rib me and says, well, technically you got fired, so you did get ejected from the business. I was like, well, yes, but he's a teenager, so I know that he understands that what I'm doing now is for him. And he understands that I trusted in myself to find the answers to big questions. I trusted in all that time that I spent learning about how brilliantly creative you all are in so many aspects of your being that you may not be considering. Most importantly, I trusted that I would be here tonight talking to you about how brilliant you all are and how many brilliant things that you can do with time when you take the time to see where you are. And I want to thank you all for trusting myself and all of us with your time tonight.